So in your bowl, you want 1 cup of applesauce, 1 cup of rolled oats. You need 1 egg. I'm using egg whites, so I used about 4 tablespoons of egg whites. You need 1/3 of a cup of sugar, and then you need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'll pour that in right now. And then you're going to whisk this really quick, and then we're going to set this to the side. Sorry, in the same recipe, you want to also add 1/2 cup of milk. So I'm adding that too as well. And then we're going to whisk this together and put it to the side. Okay, in a separate bowl, you want to take 3/4 of a cup of flour. You want to take 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a full teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You want to take a full teaspoon of cinnamon, and then I've added another teaspoon of nutmeg, and then 1/2 cup of, you can do walnuts, you can do craisins, you can do raisins, just something to add an additional flair to it. So we're just going to whisk this up really quick before we add our wet ingredients to the mix. So next we are going to combine our dry and our wet mixtures together in order to form our batter for our apple cinnamon muffins. So I'm going to add these together and give you a picture of what these look like all mixed together. So next we're going to take our, I forget what this is called, but we want to take it and we want to fill our scoop, thank you. And we want to fill it up, and we want to begin to fill up our pans. Now you don't want to overfill your muffin pans because you don't want your muffins to have real muffin tops in this case. You want them to bake evenly straight to the top. So you want to kind of fill them about 3/4 of the way. You should have enough batter to make at least 12 muffins. I'm making a mess. I'm not used to working with like one hand. So I'll show you what this looks like after I'm finished. So we're gonna bake those muffins at 375 for 20 minutes. I'm gonna check them at 15 just to make sure that they aren't overly cooked. I'm gonna stick them with a toothpick just to make sure they're not overly dry, because we don't want our dry muffins. Now I need to clean up this mess. So I'm gonna do a toothpick test on a few of these just to see how they are doing. This is at 15 minutes, so here's my first one. Oh, it came out pretty clean. I'm gonna do one in the middle. A little clean. I think it's clean. It's pretty clean. Let me try another toothpick. Try one of my bigger ones. Because what we don't want to do is dry them out. I think they're done. And they look really good. Nice and fluffy and beautiful. They look amazing. So I'm going to put them in an airtight container lined with a little bit of paper towel just to make sure that they don't lose their beauty. So yay, they're gorgeous. So I'm letting them cool down before I put them in the airtight container, but I wanted to show you guys, like, they are very pretty. I mean, I don't know if you can see kind of the oatmeal and the cinnamon. There's a little walnut right there. But they turned out to be pretty. I like, you know, I love my Pamper Chef muffin pans. They actually are some of the best in quality, I believe, in baking ware. But these turned out to be so beautiful. Can't wait. So first we got to get our barley cooking. Now normal barley takes forever to cook. It's got to soak and then it's got to cook. I like to get the quick barley. It cooks in 10 minutes. I'm going to prepare the whole box which is the whole box, and then 4 cups of water, and then 1/4 of salt. Now you want to boil the salt and the water first, get it very hot and boiling, and then you want to pour your barley in. Chopping up some celery, you want to take a stalk, you want to cut it in half, and then you want to chop it into little bitty pieces. So our water is boiling, so I'm going to drop my barley. And I'm going to let this cook for 8 to 12 minutes. And then just until the barley is nice and tender. And then we're going to let it stand for an additional 5 minutes outside of the heat. So here we go. Oh, also need to cover it and reduce it to an actual simmer. So I'm going to take a spoon, stir this really quick. I'm going to reduce the heat, cover it up, reduce it to a simmer, and let it go for 10 to 12 minutes. So our barley just finished. It now needs to cool off for about 5 minutes before I add it to our other salad components. We're going to get ready and make a lemony kind of vinaigrette dressing. It's going to have some lemon juice, some olive oil, and a variety of seasonings. We have some onion powder, some garlic salt, some black pepper. I got some garlic powder, and then I also have some additional dry cilantro that we're going to use for today. And that should be the components of our lemon salad dressing, lemon and cilantro salad dressing. So in my mixing cup, I have a 1/2 cup of olive oil, an additional 1/2 cup of lemon juice, some garlic salt, some onion powder, some garlic pepper, and some black pepper. And we're just going to kind of stir this up to make us our lemony dressing. So we're going to add our barley, and then next we're going to pour over our salad dressing. And you can always make more as you go. And then we're going to mix it all in together. So all of our black beans, all of our diced tomatoes, all of our red onions, and our scallions. We're going to get that all mixed in. And then over the top, I'm going to put some additional dry cilantro. So we're going to cover this up and refrigerate it for at least an hour before we serve it. It's going to be my lunch tomorrow, so it's actually going to chill all night. So this is the finished product. You can see our celery, you can see our scallions, our red onions, our tomatoes, our black beans, and our precious barley. And you can see some coating. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of dry cilantro over the top and let this refrigerate. And then tomorrow I will show you all what this looks like for my lunch. Voila.